Hello, welcome to Module 2, where we'll be talking about design thinking. In this module, we'll be talking about what design thinking really means, why design thinking is essential for product success, and the 5 stages of the design thinking process, real-world applications and case studies, how designers use design thinking to solve problems, how AI supports and speeds up design thinking workflows, and practical activities to help you apply design thinking. So, what is design thinking? A problem-solving approach that is focused on users. A thinking method that encourages creativity, testing, iteration, brainstorming. It's a thinking process that is used by global companies to build innovative solutions and innovate on existing solutions. So, design thinking focuses on understanding real people, defining the right problems, ideating solutions, and testing them quickly. It is the backbone of UX design. It is the backbone of any user experience. So, why do designers use design thinking? What is the reason? It ensures that solutions are user-centered and not assumption-driven. It lowers the risk of building the wrong product. It encourages creativity, empathy, testing, and iteration. It helps designers understand real user needs, promotes innovative, user-friendly solutions. This method prevents us from designing based on guesses, from designing based on assumptions or biases. It ensures the solution are grounded in users' needs. So, what are the 5 stages of design thinking? First thing you have to do is empathize, which is put yourself in the position of the user. What are their issues? What are they facing? What are they going through? How are they solving this problem as we speak? Then you define the problem you're trying to solve. You identify the core problem. You identify what exactly it is that you're trying to solve. Then you ideate. In this stage, you generate ideas. You generate ideas that are actionable. It's not just to generate ideas. So you have to go through the ideas and actually select those ones that are actionable. At the beginning, you can create as many as possible, but you have to limit to actionable ideas. Then once you are done ideating, you have to prototype. So prototyping is creating testable representations that you can use to visualize what it is that you're trying to solve. Prototypes help you to test your ideas and validate and brainstorm over it. Then lastly, which I've also already mentioned, is to test. So the 5 stages of design thinking: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So we'll be going into this step by step. So empathizing means understanding users' needs, motivation, and pain points. So what techniques do you use to empathize with users? You have to actually be in front of them. So user interviews, observations, and surveys. These are the techniques you use to actually empathize, to understand your users. Now, defining. How do you define a problem? So you synthesize research to articulate the core problem. So all research that has been done in the empathize phase, you now use it to synthesize and define what exactly your problem is. So what techniques do you use for that? Problem statement formulation, point of view statements, and how might we questions. How might we questions are questions that you ask: how might we do this? How might we do that? How might we, to the problem question, the problem statements that you receive, that you have generated. Now, step 3, ideate. Now, I give a brief of what ideation is and what it is not. Ideation is brainstorming to generate solutions. At the initial stage, you generate as many ideas as possible. There's no limit, there's no cap to what you're doing. Then after you've generated all those ideas, you have to now start sifting through them to seek the actionable ideas. So what techniques do you use to do this sifting? You do mind maps, you do crazy eights, you do sketching. You use all this to generate ideas. Mind maps help you to visualize a plausible idea or a plausible solution towards the problem statement that you have defined. And crazy eights are spontaneous generation of ideas that you have to do within it. Some people do it in 30 seconds. You have to come up with 8 ideas to solve the problem in 30 seconds. Then sketching. Sketching is just scribbling something down for you to actually visualize your solution. Then the next step is to prototype. Prototyping is creating a sample version, a simple sample version of the solution. While what techniques do we use to prototype? Low fidelity sketches, wireframes, and interactive flows. So after you are done with all these steps, you come to the last step, which is to test. You have to validate that if this solution that you have created, does it actually solve the user's needs? And do the users enjoy and understand the solution that you have done, that you have created for them? Now, what techniques do you use to test? You use A/B testing, you use survey and feedback sessions, you go into user environments to gather feedback, and you note confusing points. That's how you test. So you have to apply design thinking in everything that you do as a designer. It's very important that you do. So you are going to have class activity that is going to involve applying design thinking. So your activity is going to be to apply the design thinking process and identify a user problem, which you will use to develop a simple user-friendly solution that improves their daily experience. Any problem at all. Just look in your environment. What is a problem that needs to be solved at this point in time, and try and solve it and see how it improves their day-to-day experience.